How's it going, guys? My name is Zach with the Movie Castle, and today we're going to be taking a look at The Last Exorcism. This is a found footage film from 2010. This is directed by Daniel Stamm, stars Patrick Fabian, Ashley Bell, Iris Bahr, and Louis Herthum. And as the top of the DVD will remind us, is produced by Eli Roth. Eli Roth, a really good horror director, again though, did a lot of work as a producer and brought us a lot of fun, scary movies. And that includes this one. 2010, so the found footage horror boom had been going on for a little bit. And out of all the movies that came after Paranormal Activity, there's a whole wave of found footage films. Last Exorcism, usually considered one of the better ones. My cousin really does like this movie, and it's one that I've been meaning to watch for a while. It's one that I had somehow missed, and now that I'm on a little bit of a found footage kick, I've been wanting to watch a lot of them lately, I thought I really need to go and check this one out. And yeah, not disappointed. This is a really good movie. It does a lot for both of its subgenres. This is both a found footage movie and an exorcism movie, and it really does offer something unique for both of them, you know? The found footage angle, you really do feel like you're in this house in the middle of the country, the middle of nowhere, dealing with a potentially really bad situation, and with the film questioning reality a lot, questioning is the supernatural real or not, found footage works really well there. But also for the exorcism movie, like I said, this is a movie about questioning, this is a movie about duality, and up until the very end of this movie, you are not sure if this is all real or not, and that does play into the characters. Some characters believe, some characters don't, and they're all really thought out characters, and that is really good. A horror movie with good characters does have very strong bones, and this one really does. So like I said, as both an exorcism film and a found footage film, Last Exorcism works out very well, and I can definitely recommend it. Without further ado, in order to analyze this movie further, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the plot. I'm not going to do any major spoilers, but I do want to say my piece on some of the plot points, take a moment to analyze it, but I won't be stepping on the end. I'll try not to spoil anything too major. We open up with our lead character. He's a pastor, and they give him a really interesting backstory. His father was also a pastor, and he's been preaching since he was a kid. His father came up with a gimmick, the world's youngest preacher, and you see that he was sort of born into this life, but never really had a chance to choose it for himself. It was just what he always did. And you can see that as he grew up, he became kind of jaded. He started to lose his faith. So that's kind of where he was. And they say that he was doing exorcisms even though he didn't believe it. He thought these people needed something psychologically and that he could give it to them. He didn't think the exorcisms worked on a spiritual level, but if he came in, did his show, it would comfort the people that wanted it, and that would help them move on with their lives. And that's where he's been for years. However, he recently heard on the news about a young boy that died during an exorcism, and he says, okay, I have to stop it because that young boy was about the age of my son. And in turn, this film crew that he's brought over, he sort of had them come to tape his confession. He's going to be doing one last exorcism, hence the name of the movie, show the film crew how he fakes it, and sort of put that into the world as kind of an act of penance and confession, saying, this is what I really think, and this is who I've been for so long. And I really do like this setup. You know, movies have so many, bad pastor characters, the secret evil preacher, that trope has been done to death. But to actually have a character that's well thought out and given a good structure for his backstory and is not just haha evil preacher, it does it so much better with just a little bit of consideration and thinking where he's coming from and why he's doing this. But of course, this will plant the seed of the movie's central theme, which is questioning if it's real or not. Because of course, we know this is a horror movie. We know this Last Exorcism isn't going to go off exactly as planned. So for the exorcism, he grabs a random letter from the mail, and he finds that it's his family out in the middle of nowhere. The mom has passed on, they've had a lot of family stress, and the father thinks his daughter is possessed and going around in the middle of the night doing things like killing animals. So he goes down to do the exorcism, and we get an interesting segment where we see how he rigs it up, like string and stuff, and hiding speakers to make noise and how important the sound is. And it's an interesting segment to see him, he thinks he's in charge, but of course, after the fake exorcism's done, the evil still stays around, and it's going to be spooky, and that's where you're going to get the debate and the questioning. You get where something horrible and creepy happens, but then maybe there's a real-world explanation. Maybe this is medical, or maybe this is psychological. And, the found footage keeping you in this country farmhouse, really, really good atmosphere. The sense of kind of the void, the lack of noise, the quiet country house. It's a world that's older, and your neighbors are very, very far away, and turn help is far away. And, the creepy possibility of the supernatural, but also with the idea of that young boy he heard about on the news dying. We know that, you can't just go in and play around and not treat this stuff seriously if it isn't real. If it isn't real, someone could get significantly hurt that shouldn't. He doesn't believe, and he's trying to get the father to take the daughter to a doctor or a psychologist, and he's like, doctors, they didn't help my wife, what do those crazy people know? And you do get the sense that it could be dangerous either way, and I think that is important, is so many times, obviously the supernatural is the clear side that you're rooting for because it's a much more interesting and fantastic and, bigger story if it is supernatural, but they do a good job of saying, if this isn't supernatural, it's still scary. If it's not supernatural, there could be secrets, there could be something messed up going on here, and you have a feeling that either way, if you don't treat the situation right, it could go bad. And you really get the pastor put into this spot, constantly being asked, are you sure you don't believe, when things get more and more extreme. So I really do like how this movie serves as a character study for him, but really all the characters are pretty well thought out. Even the minor ones, like the camera crew, you don't see the camera crew that often, but when you do, they're like, are you sure we should be going about this the right way? Are you sure that this was the best choice that you could have made? And you get a scene or two where it's him talking to the camera crew and saying, look, I really don't know what to do. We're out in the middle of nowhere. I don't know who I can go to for help. So yeah, the camera crew's minor, they work out really well. Obviously, the father is a really crucial part of this movie. It would be way too easy to portray him as just, crazy, just too out there. But, you do see how much the trauma has taken effect on him and how he's turned to stricter and stricter views on religion to the point where his old pastor's like, dude, we're really not that medieval nowadays. He really needs to calm down. But of course, you do see how he would not trust things. Like I said, the hospital didn't save his wife's life. He doesn't trust the doctors anymore. and you really do get to see, you know, how you can't just necessarily manipulate this guy too easy to do something he doesn't want to do, and as the supernatural stuff pops off more and more, maybe he is right, you know. And I really do like, especially towards the end, there's some really good character moments with him. He's interesting, and even like the brother's really good in this movie too. The possessed girl has a brother who doesn't believe anymore, and, you know, he has this really fun character moment where they first meet him. Hey, we're looking for this farm. You're going the wrong direction. Make a U-turn, turn around, and go back to where you came from. So you can see his hostility and the irony that him and the priest really have similar views, but they can never, you know, talk to each other about it. That is interesting. But of course, when we talk about characters other than the pastor, I really do like the young girl who's possessed. You get her all sweet and innocent, the girl in the country that hasn't seen the big world, and you see her and you go, oh, of course she's not really possessed. The dad's just paranoid. She's a regular, nice, sweet country girl. But then she's not. And she can go from sweet and innocent to creepy really quick to very, very creepy, where you can see her in her innocent state go, oh, there's no way she's possessed, then see her in the possessed state and go, okay, this is supernatural, I feel. She is definitely possessed. And that is a really good back and forth as well. So I love the characters, I love the atmosphere, I love that this movie has strong central themes and is willing to look at them from several angles. Is it real or not? Let's not just pick one, let's circle. Overall, a really good movie, and I can definitely recommend it. Like I said, works well, found footage or exorcism, both subgenres do really well. Anyway, have a good day. I'll see you guys again very, very soon. I'll leave a relevant playlist on the bottom. This should be my found footage movies playlist. I've been working on building that up recently. I have the first 2 VHS movies in there. The House is October built movies. Open Water 3 is actually found footage, so I'm working on building that up, so here's my found footage playlist. Anyway, have a good day. I'll see you guys again very, very soon. Relevant playlist on the bottom. Have a good day now.